everybody, it's your homegirl Joy here, and today is a really exciting day for me because I get to plant some of the starts that I have, and they're all going to be the cool weather crops. So you have your perpetual spinach, arugula, broccoli, cauliflower, all of that good stuff. I'm gonna get that planted today, and we're also going to be working on a little hoop house for these little seedlings here. Right now our beds are kind of in in a little jail right now because this is the best way to keep all the stray cats from sleeping in these beds and from pooping in these beds and just making a big mess, because that's something that they love to do in the back beds. We have those open now because we will be taking those down and flattening that area, because eventually that is a spot that we want to prep to make a greenhouse, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. That's going to come the future. Right now we're going to focus on making the hoop house and getting some plants in the ground before next weekend, because we're going to have another hard freeze. So we're going to make sure we have this little greenhouse prepared for that. So when we set up the dirt and mixed everything for this bed, we had our compost in, our raised bed soil in, peat moss perlite, and I forgot to add in the slow release fertilizer. We have some garden tone that I wanted to add into that. I forgot to do that, so I'm just gonna add it on top and then rake it in the first layer. And once we have all the soil ready and mixed in, we're gonna get that one filled, and I'm not gonna forget the garden tone. But Jared got all of the soil that we needed yesterday, and we're gonna fill this bed today. So today's kind of the day to do everything because it's gonna be really nice out. It is really nice out right now.
Okay, so this is the simplest and most straightforward. We wanted something really easy to take apart and put together. So the way that we are doing it is, this is 1/2 inch PVC. It comes in 10-foot lengths. We have a 4-foot bed. So we are going to, we cut this into 6 feet, and then I want to show there's these little pipe clamps that you can get at Home Depot. This is the 3/4 inch size, so that it's a little bit easier to move them in and out of this. And we have one on either side, and it really is as simple as just putting the pipe here in the clamp, and then bending this down so that it fits into this other one. Fix this a little bit so I have a little more room over here. There we go. And it's as simple as that.
So this is a pretty good height for having your cool weather crops. It's going to protect it from freezes if you use a plastic over it. If they're still tender seedlings, you can put a shade cloth over it as it acclimates to the sun. And to help to help with keeping it from getting frost on frost tender plants. So
that's the nice thing about this, is that you can put different cloths on this. You're not committed. So you can put plastic if you want more of a greenhouse. You can put frost if you're worried about that, frost cloth. You can put shade cloth. Makes it really versatile and really easy. So all we need to do at this point is just put some more hoops in, and then we can show you how we're going to build tension in the different fabrics. But we'll get cracking on getting the rest in. We're only going to go halfway because on the other half we're going to have trellises. So we're going to have half of it be coverable that we're worried about. Later down the road we may put some more of these that are taller for the trellis plants, but we're going to start with just these lower lying ones because that's what we're gonna put in the ground.
So before we get any further with the hoop house, I'm gonna rake in the fertilizer, and then once we have all of the clamps in, then I'm gonna go ahead and put some seedlings in and put in the rest of the pipes. a quick plant update, the seedling update. I've actually been battling a pretty gnarly aphid infestation on my cauliflower and our hibiscus bush that we have inside. And I think it came from the hibiscus and the lavender bush that we brought in for the winter. Because we don't have separate rooms that we can keep these plants, because we certainly cannot keep them in our garage because it's very cold. It's not well insulated. That's something that we have to fix down the line, but right now it's just been on the tile floors of our dining room, and that's where I have the seedlings all set up. And because they're all within close proximity of each other, of course the aphids decided to feast on the cauliflower and some of the broccoli. Luckily, they're still alive, and I'm gonna be planting them outside. Hopefully the cold will get the rest of the aphids, and I hope that having more room, they're gonna thrive a little better than being in these starts. So here I have the cauliflower and the back broccoli, and then I have 4 cabbage, and then here I have the narrow cabbage and the mizuna. Actually, this is the scarlet kale. There we go. This is the scarlet kale. The leaves are starting to get purple. And then I have the most colorful set is the perpetual spinach and the mizuna, which the leaves are actually a really dark burgundy.
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do now that we have all 4 of these in is we are going to put one on each side, going parallel with the ground, so that when the cloth is draped over, we can pull it down and have something to clip it to give it tension so that it doesn't go anywhere. We're gonna hold off on putting the fabric and the clips on, partly because they're still in the mail, otherly so that we can put the plants in the ground. So we're gonna work on that now.
Ben right now is talking to our neighbor. It's really cute. I have a little Ben started climbing into the garden bed. I have a little diagram that I ended up getting wet while I was watering the plants. However, I have planned out where I want each plant to go, and I tried to follow the companion planting and just making sure that things are next to things that they can be next to. So I'm going to start with the cabbage right now. Okay, so I had 4 cabbage seeds. No, sorry. I had 5 cabbage seeds left and 4 of them sprouted. Now I'm going to plant these 4 cabbage and you need to give cabbage a good bit of room so they can grow. They get really big. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Here's just a little close-up of the cabbage. Just tease the roots in the bottom. Don't be too rough. And then they'll slowly start to come apart on their own. So it's about an hour later. We had to go in, get little man some food, and put him down for his nap. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish planting the rest of the kale, the arugula, and the perpetual spinach. So I don't know if you can see very well, but any little bit of green or blue, that's everything that I have planted up to that fourth pole there. I have the cabbage here with the narrow cabbage, some scarlet kale, narrow cabbage, perpetual spinach, the mizuna, and then broccoli and cauliflower back there. I initially wanted to leave some space for onion starts. However, my onion starts are not ready to be planted outside yet. But that's okay, because we have another bed that we're gonna fill soon, hopefully today. The day is kind of getting away from us because there's so much to do, so it may be during the week that we get that done. But the onion starts are gonna have to wait.
All right, so as Joy was putting the transplants in and watering the bed, I went ahead and finished up the sides here. So like I mentioned earlier, these are just purely for tension. So there's some little clamps you can see there just to keep them in place. I may come back later and add some more. I think I may have some extra once these are done, just for some more support. But like I said, it's really just so that as these drape over, they have something else to grab onto, so that the cloth can stay tight, and I don't have to worry about them falling off or sagging there in the middle. So it's just going to be on all sides. Once we have these other ones in, we're going to see the same thing over there, but this is just an example. If y'all have any questions on what I used or how to do this, I will make sure that Joy links the video that I referenced. It was a great video, had 4 different ways to do it, whatever is going to work better for you. But this was really quick, easy, and very versatile. Pretty excited.
Okay, so now that we have the hoops all set up, we have the issue of having to put the grate back on top of the bed, to keep the cats from sleeping and snuggling into the dirt, because that's just what they really love to do in our yard. And mind you, these are all stray cats. There isn't much that we can do to keep them away. So we're gonna try to cut the grate that we initially had on it and to fit it in between the hoops, just to make sure that our little transplants don't get squished and are protected from all the critters that like to run around our neighborhood. It's also really good for keeping out squirrels, and we have opossums. They don't really mess with the garden. They like to mess with our patio more than anything, but squirrels dig a lot, as well as the cats, because they think it's a giant litter box that we made for them. So all we did was cut the pieces of the grate off, so, or at least these little pieces, so that these poles can fit right through, and we didn't have to cut just strips of the grate. That way we can still reuse this if we need to, and hopefully the cats don't try to take shelter under the tarp, under the frost cloth at night. So that is everything that we can get done for today, and filling up that second bed is gonna have to wait for a little bit, and I'll probably get that done during the week, but definitely before next weekend because it's gonna be way too cold. But yeah, we have everything covered. We have the hoops in place, and all that we are waiting for are the clips, and then we are good to go. Clips and the greenhouse tarp. But other than that, I think we are done for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this gave you some ideas on what to do for a cheaper hoop house. So if you have any questions about the hoop house or what I planted or when I'm planting, let me know in the comments down below. What are you transplanting at right now? Because I know in some places you can transplant cool weather crops starting in early January, surprisingly. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. Remember to hit to like, subscribe if this was somewhat informative. But yeah, stay joyful everybody. Bye.